All right, we are here at the 2017 ABA Tech Show in Chicago with Ivan Hemmans. He's on the board of the show. Board of the show?
Yes? Yeah, I'm part of the Tech Show
board. Board of the show? No, you're on the board of the show.
I am not board of the show. I'm finding that I've been very
awesome
fascinated.
Show.
Yes.
Yeah. And you are the security expert, in my opinion. So you work at a very large firm.
I do.
In security.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm one of the senior IT managers. We do have a security officer, so I can't claim credit for all of that stuff, but I do get involved in helping to communicate that to our user population. So, yeah, we've got close to 1,000 lawyers or so, 16 offices around the world. So, yeah.
So let's start off with security. How important is security today, especially if you're doing cloud servers? You know, how important is security?
It's the most important thing that you can do, especially since so many transactions are online. I mean, if you're talking about a lawyer who's practicing, you might be dealing with personally identifiable information. You're definitely dealing with confidential or privileged information. And you want to ensure that anything that you're using is protected at the very least by two-factor authentication if it's out on the web. If it's not out on the web, then you want to have a hefty firewall. Keep everything locked up.
And just to plug PracticePanther, of course, we have two-factor authentication and 256-bit military-grade encryption, SSL, and all the fun stuff like you know. But I know that a big topic you're talking about today, you just gave a class on getting things done?
Yes. Getting things done is an action management or to-do list management methodology to allow you to keep track of all of the things that you have to do across a life.
So I'll tell you how I get things done. Tell me if I'm doing things right. So I got my notepad. You know, it's funny. I have I've used Trello and Asana and Salesforce and all these things. But I've noticed for me, the notepad works best for me, and I have an ABC system. Have you heard of this system?
Always A1.
No. ABC. So I'll put my A1 is my most important mission for the day. A2, A3. Then once I finish all my A's, I'll go to my B's and C's, and D might be delegate as well. So am I doing things good, or can I improve my productivity?
Well, I mean, I think everyone can always improve their productivity. So I guess the right answer is whatever works for you. So getting things done is just one way. It's definitely not a way that's for everyone. But I wouldn't be surprised if most of the things that getting things done talks about, you're already doing in some form or fashion. For me, I didn't have a system. I knew how to make a list. I knew how to keep track of stuff. I wasn't always as clear about what it was I was trying to accomplish. And so the getting things done methodology gave me a framework that I can hang all of my work on. And then through that framework, I managed to become more efficient because I had a process, a way to deal with things. And actually, I started using it was completely on paper.
So people are probably wondering, okay, what the heck is the secret then? What's the framework? What's the methodology? What are the steps and process that you're doing?
So in general, first thing I would tell you is just go get the book. There's a book by David Allen called Getting Things Done, The Art of Stress-Free Productivity. It's had quite a following. You can search for GTD, go to gettingthingsdone.com, which is their website. You can learn more about it.
It's like a whole movement over here.
It is a whole movement. Yes. But in general, the first thing is if there's something that's on your mind, like, I got to remember to go buy some milk, collect that, capture it, and put it on your trusted system. So collect all of those things.
So collect it where? Phone, whatever it works for you?
Well, I mean, we've all got a number of inboxes in our lives, right? We got the physical mailbox, we got the voicemail, we've got email, in some cases, multiple email boxes. The idea is to streamline to as few inboxes as you need, but no more than you have to have. And so you check all of those inboxes, and then as you go through, let's say you're doing a physical mail check, you get, this is a bill, I got to pay that. That's an action I have to do. So you would collect that action and put it on your trusted system. So for me, when I did it on paper, I'd have a list of things that I have to do, and I'd say, pay the electric bill. And if it has a due date, I'd put the due date on there.
And that's a list where? Paper, physical list, or phone?
When I first started, it was all physical, and now it's digital for me. Yeah.
What are you using? Evernote?
No. Most of the stuff that I do, I work in an Exchange environment, so I can use tasks in Outlook. And my inbox and my calendar. My calendar is a big part of my system.
So you're using tasks in Outlook that syncs with your phone?
Yes.
Okay, so that's your system.
For my firm stuff. For my own stuff, I'm using an app called OmniFocus, which is probably one of the better known if you're an Apple computer user. I'm a Windows at work and a Mac at home.
What's OmniFocus?
OmniFocus is a task management system or an action management system based on and around the Getting Things Done methodology. So there are a number of different tools that exist. And I don't know that any one tool is better than any other tool.
What works for you?
Exactly.
Whatever tool you're using, make sure that's the tool you're using to collect all your information. Then you can separate personal from business.
Exactly. So step one, collect all of those things that are on your mind, capture them. Step 2, you process those things. You clarify, what is it that I need to do? In this case, pay the electric bill. So you might say, well, I need to pay the electric bill by Friday online, right? So after you've clarified what it is, then you decide, is this thing actionable or not? Do I have to do something with this or not? In the case of pay the electric bill, it's actionable. Maybe if I had session materials from the tech show and I decided like, well, I have this stuff that I don't need it right now. Maybe I can put it in my archive, file it away, save it somewhere until I need it.
You gave me a good idea.
Right?
Okay.
And then if it is actionable, like pay something online, then you can decide, well, can I do that in less than 2 minutes? 2 minutes is sort of an arbitrary threshold. The idea being, if it takes longer than 2 minutes to do, just collect it and then schedule the time to do it. If it takes less than 2 minutes to do, it probably takes longer to keep track of it than to just do it. So just do it now. Right? Just do it now. Get it done. And then move on to the next thing.
Okay, so if something takes less than 2 minutes, just do it. Don't even add it to your list.
Right.
Just take care of it and goodbye. Move on.
Yes, exactly.
Interesting.
And then, so if it does take longer than 2 minutes, you can schedule it later in your calendar. Maybe delegate it to someone else if you have someone else to delegate it to, or delegate it to yourself to handle at some point in time.
Interesting. So I'm just curious, in your personal Outlook, do you have like a personal calendar and a business calendar? That's how I kind of do it.
Yes, I have several calendars that I use.
Multiple calendars, okay.
I've got my family calendar, I have my work calendar, and then occasionally I do go and speak at conferences and things, and I have my speaking calendar as well.
The big shot calendar.
No, it's a small shot.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So I got part 1. Is there a second part to getting things done?
Well, yeah, so part 1, capture, part 2, clarify or process.
That's it? That's the whole thing?
Part 3 is the organizing. We kind of talked about that, like delegating to someone else. And then I guess the biggest part is the review. This is what keeps it going.
Okay.
The thing that keeps it going is, and I skipped over a little bit, but, so the thing that keeps it going is the review.
Okay.
So that's where, I don't know if you've ever kind of collected things that you want to do, and then you put them somewhere, and then you never look at them again.
The backlog.
You never go back, right?
Yeah. I have so many things on my calendar from 4 months ago. I'm like, oh my God, and I just drag them forward, and I keep dragging them forward. Yeah. So what do I do with all this stuff?
Well, I think you have to go back to the second step there and figure out, clarify, what is it that, why is it on your list? Is it really something that you're going to do? If not, take it off. If it is something that you're going to do, then decide exactly what is the next physical thing that I need to do to get it done. But the review part, this is where you come back periodically. The recommended frequency is once a week or so. It doesn't have to be every week, as often as you need it to be. But come back and just sort of check in with your list. Be like, oh yeah, I got a call. I did that. You can take that off the list. So by the time you're finished with the review, your lists have been refreshed. And all of the stuff that's completed is off. And any new things that you forgot to put on there are on. And if you remember, like, oh yeah, I'm looking through my list. Oh, I'm waiting for that guy to send me this document. You can follow up with that guy if it takes less than 2 minutes. And what you'll find is the review is sort of the machine that keeps the system alive and keeps it running. Without the review, things will kind of grind to a halt over time.
It's funny, I'm laughing because that's exactly what I do. I mean, my workflow is I'm always have my phone. Right. So I'm like, hey, hey Siri, schedule meeting.
Sorry, everyone on the
always phones. Alexa, Google, hello Google. Everyone's house just blew up. So I go, hey Siri, schedule a meeting for tomorrow at 2 p.m. to email Ivan for an interview, for example.
Right.
And that's my collection. And then after I finish it, I swipe it off.
Yeah.
So I'm doing a good job.
You're doing a good job. Yeah. Because if something has to happen on a particular day and time, that's when I invoke my calendar. Right. So I do a to-do list for things that don't have a particular
deadline.
But things that have a deadline, like I've got to go get to the airport by such and such, that goes into my calendar. And if it's in my calendar, it'll happen.
It's funny, for me, if I don't have a deadline, I just do like an all-day event, but that kind of messes up my calendar, I guess. But
I used to do that as well, but what I found is I was taking a lot of my all-day events and then bringing them over to the next day and bringing them to the next day. And then pretty soon what I was doing is just sweeping my list forward without actually thinking about the things that were in my list. I'm not saying that you're doing that, but that's what I would do.
Oh, I'm for sure doing that. Okay, so now I see what you're doing. Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Oh, man.
We're going to cut, but
No, man. I'm having a great time. Thank you for having me.
Okay. Thanks for being here with us today, Ivan. Ivan Hemmans, everyone. You'll see him next year at the show. He is the expert in getting things done, productivity, efficiency, security. I mean, every time I meet this guy, he's adding more things to his resume. So nice to have you.